$9.49, making it the lowest price in stuffed crust. And I'm out of time. Your time. Pizza.
What's up, guys? Give me 1 second.
The arrival of Space Marines is heralded by the roar of engines from the heavens. Aboard great gunships, they stream from battle barges across the void, boom through the atmosphere, and scream at supersonic speeds to their insertion points. Here, the foe will bear witness to a ship of unflinching armor and unyielding firepower. Once the LZ has been secured, the few enemy survivors who yet draw breath will be overrun by squads of Astartes, assault bikes, and dreadnoughts. Today, we shall review the remarkable characteristics of these dropships and peer into their inner workings. This is the true size of a Thunderhawk, warhorse of the Space Marine chapters.
All right, guys. So we are doing a Chimera recovery rescue, whatever you want to call it. And just for fun, I've decided to put on some lore videos on the background just to add to the element here, to the atmosphere. We're going to see. We're just going to see what we're going to get through. See if we get anybody join. Not sure if you guys are interested in this sort of content. Let me see here. What paint do I need? Okay. So for a lot of my tanks, I have a lot of old stuff, and I do typical Cadian design. Recently, I had some stuff with the Chimera, or the Lehman Russes of mine, and they are they're cool. They're really cool vehicles, but they were definitely missing something. So I discovered this paint right here. This is Elysian Green, or Elysian Green, the Elysian drop troops, and I'm going to use that to clean up this Chimera, make it look better, make it look pretty cool. So we're going to do that tonight. This is going to be our first test. Give me a second. If you guys want, you can just listen to the lore videos happening in the background as well. I think it's pretty entertaining. I like to listen to a lot of that stuff as I'm doing this. You see, I'm trying to hopefully get the word out. Got some people who are interested in this type of content too.
With the goal of reclaiming the stars for humanity. To this end, thousands of fleets and billions of personnel were mobilized for a campaign of unimaginable scope. Key to the mission would be the Legiones Astartes, who operated as the bloody tip of the spear. Such forces were often deployed en masse, leveraging the use of super heavy transports for rapid planetary deployment. Here, the hulking Stormbird reigned supreme. It was a standard template construct design capable.
You guys can already start to see this green is already brightening up the surface. I'm being very gentle with the application at the start here. I'm actually going to take that off. So this is actually the only Chimera in my collection that I own for now. But what I want to do, and you guys will see this happening, I want to be somewhat gentle, and it's okay if like marks like that start appearing. I like this green. This is more of, I might come back through with like Army Painter green and then darken that down a little bit, but it's really just fighting back and forth. And that's really going to bring out and brighten up this vehicle. Just make it look more cohesive with the rest of my army. Especially on these edges here. Might be a little too bright in some areas.
Thunderhawk was much simpler, quicker, and cheaper to mass produce than its
so I'm going to do that.
counterpart. In the grim calculations of prolonged war, There was therefore an increasing tendency in manufacturing to favour the quantity of the Thunderhawk over the quality of the Stormbird. Ultimately, this trend
Just
would
do
be
that a little bit,
accelerated
get on
as
the edges
humans
more.
fell to chaos in the
Especially
years
pick out
of
those
Horus
edges.
Heresy. And as
You guys can see I'm just
forces were split
brushing
into
the
small
edges
chapters
somewhat
in
aggressively.
Thus, by the 41st millennium, the Thunderhawk would decidedly stand.
And this type of tool is a lifesaver.
Of both loyalist and traitor
Not
space
sure
marine chapters.
why I went so many years without picking one up. Dry brushes are just, they're amazing. Some of these edges here, again, it's a little bright.
Before delving further into its
You guys will
details.
see this.
In overall dimension, the Thunderhawk measures
Especially on these edges and the
27
rivets.
meters long, 26 meters wide, and 10 meters tall. It is an awe-inspiring
So yeah,
machine,
I mean,
towering
I like that a lot.
otherwise
It's a cool
impressive
look.
vehicles.
We'll get the edges here.
From fore to aft,
Going over top of some of
one
this
coasters
brown,
the
which is a little unfortunate,
the
but
front fuselage,
that's alright. I can always
which houses the
bring
upper
that back
flight
out.
deck and the lower assault hull. The center
And by
fuselage,
simply doing this,
which
just
supports
this
the
simple
wings,
action of
dorsal
dry
fin,
brushing a
and
brighter
propeller
green
bolt.
is really making this
And
model
finally,
pop.
the rear fuselage, which contains the tail fin, aft
So
rockets,
boom, like
and
that.
fuel
Get some
systems.
here, get some there, get some all over. Maybe some on the edges here.
For defense, the Thunderhawk is built of sturdy adamantium.
So I'll definitely darken this
Same
down.
armor as
It's a little
Land Raider tank.
bright for what I want,
This consists
but
of a base layer of
it's a good
titanium,
start. It's a really good
followed
start.
by thermoplast fiber mesh, ceramide plates, and a final outer layer of ablative
Oh well,
ceramide.
guess I need to glue that.
All are
Maybe the glue
necessary
came
to
loose.
endure the heavy beatings of repeated combat and atmospheric entry. For offense, the Thunderhawk boasts multiple heavy bolter emplacements, a top-mounted battle cannon, attack wing-mounted las cannons, and additional payloads of float wing-mounted bombs and missiles. Though notably, the exact armaments may vary by combat mission. Here is a range of loadouts which are typically seen for troop insertion, close air support, saturation bombing, and spaceship intercept. For propulsion, the Thunderhawk is able to operate both in and out of atmosphere.
We'll even apply this to the hard to get to thin areas on this vehicle. I know this is meant to be more of like a canvasy material, but just for the sake of ease, we're going to hit that with that too. Maybe the same here. And then, of course, we're going to do this front plow. To get all those edges. Make sure that's good.
This includes a max of 30 Space Marines in power armor.
Same as here. Maybe we'll do some. And it's okay to like wipe it off. I find that sometimes it adds to a dusty appearance. Actually adds a lot of texture to the vehicle.
Or a single dreadnought, ready to storm out of the front-facing assault ramp. Thunderhawk transport variants, meanwhile, push this exchange.
So there you guys go. You can already see the difference. This side versus that side.
Rhino-sized vehicles or one Land Raider equivalent. But such tanks need not be riding empty. The presence of a second set of wings and a fourth.
Yeah, the difference is very real.
Can still fly, even when carrying fully loaded.
We're going to keep doing this. We're just going to dry brush.
Altogether, the
Keep
weapons
going, maybe
fighting
be a little bit more sparing.
Thus makes it an extremely dangerous transport, air support, and starfighting craft.
So there we go. Get some up here.
In addition, with the ability to traverse the void, enter atmosphere, and flight at
Man, this piece keeps falling off, man. I need to glue this. Let's do that real quick.
In search of a target, it should be no surprise that this vehicle
Do
stands
that quickly
as the
there.
go-to choice for the deployment
Glue
of
these little
Space Marine
rivets.
chapters.
So sockets. Boom,
With
boom.
this overview in mind, let us dive into its inner workings.
I don't know why it was doing that. It's very strange. So we'll hold that. It's alright if my hand gets glued a little bit. I'm fine with that. And we're just going to keep dry brushing.
Downy free and gentle.
So we'll do that.
Softer glues for skin's sake.
I like getting the more raised areas, making sure the higher levels are a little bit brighter.
Change the way you record podcasts, voiceovers, and branded content with the #1 AI-powered voice-generating technology. Stop searching for the perfect voice and stop wasting time re-recording take after take. Try 11 Labs for
Get
free.
these little
and
edges
start
here.
elevating your content today.
Yeah, and same with over here.
For the times when cooking just isn't in the cards, try brand new ready-made meals from HelloFresh. No prepping, no cooking.
So you guys can already see it's really brought out the Chimera more.
New from
I'll put
HelloFresh.
back on the hatch. Dry brush the back a little bit.
We can begin with the flight deck. Located atop the Thunderhawk, it will be manned by a crew of about 3 to 5 members, at least 2 of which are Space Marines, with the remainder being serfs or servitors. Within the cockpit, Astartes specialists will man the pilot and co-pilot seats.
And boom, just like that, we've already created a lot of color value. Whoa.
Where they would have been expected to master.
So it already creates a lot of visual interest on the vehicle. And then for this, we're going to be very careful. Let me actually get that out of the way.
However, given the sheer
And we want to be pretty careful and sparing with this next application.
Out of sheer practicality, such Astartes flight crew will not
Just
be
make sure we're
the 1000
only getting what we need to.
Codex compliant chapter.
Need some good color value there.
As for the
Bringing out all the
instruments of
edges.
pilots, this includes a steering yoke for each pilot.
So this will help
as well as
contribute to
dashboards filled with
mostly
all manner of diagnostic
what we're looking for with edge highlighting.
for operating the Thunderhawk.
So you guys can
The
see
primary
that a little
concern will
easier,
be
boom.
instruments dealing with maneuver. Here,
And so
thrusters
as I
made
brush,
visible by 3
and I like to brush the upper levels
RX-1200
of the model
Mars-Latin engines.
a little bit heavier.
During voyage
Add some more
travel,
color
their
value.
air-breathing components are
It's almost
shaped
like how with
to
airbrushes,
allowing the
you
ship's
get
fusion
different
reactor
level, like
engines
volume, like
are
color
to be
volumes.
combusted,
So
vented
near the top of
as
the
high
object,
pressure
it's going to be a little bit
rivals
brighter
gas
naturally.
for maximum
Near the bottom,
propulsion.
not so much.
Finer adjustments, meanwhile, are made possible by the use of retro exhaust nozzles located across
We're just doing the
fore
same
and
here.
aft of the craft.
We'll be sure to
When
get the
atmosphere
top.
is present, the careful manipulation of the aircraft's rudder,
Boom.
main wings, attack
And
wings,
then
and
the
stabilizing
back of the
wings
model
help further
underneath.
control the ship's motion.
Actually got to hold it like that. I don't want the hatch to
Another
give way.
important function of flight will be communications. This may be handled by the pilots or delegated to the
Boom,
navigator station,
and
which
boom.
might be manned by a marine,
And so
a
now,
servitor, or a serf. In either case, a narrow
with a
band
simple
Fox
application
transmitter allows
of
for
Elysium
receipt
green
and
dry brushing,
transmission of long-range signals.
we have now
Shorter range Fox comms meanwhile enable connection
done what
between
I
pilots
consider
and crewmen.
rescuing
Sensor
the
arrays
Chimera.
and electronic systems help further inform the Thunderhawk flight deck of its surroundings.
And this vehicle is
These
now
devices
in
are also
tune
used as countermeasures to
with
disrupt enemy equipment.
some other models in my collection
And finally,
that I have
we
been
must
playing
mention
around
the
with
Gunners Station, which
volumes.
is manned by a Space
So I've been
Marine
dry brushing,
or their subordinates. It will
getting
be
into
here
like matte
Friday
varnishing, things of that manner. So you guys are really going to learn a lot. I've got some videos
will be handled.
that I'm working on with
Readouts report on
decaling
ranges,
models,
munitions,
and
trackers,
I even
fire
have a
operations,
Bullgren video coming because I got some new Bullgrins. This is the process so far. I'm working on him right now. But I have 2 out of the 3 Bullgrins painted up. I got a squad of 13 Cadians that I painted. Just ordered a bunch more. Really pushed my limit with matte varnishing, washes, and hopefully just getting you guys some content. Some really cool stuff coming out. So I got to edit a bunch of things. I got to do a bunch of stuff. I've got some really neat things on the way. But I'm very happy. There's a lot that I've been doing this winter. And yeah, it's been cool. Really excited to show this stuff to you guys.
Now, let us review the rest of the ship.
But consider this the first live stream test. I will be doing more live streams, and maybe at some point I will do a live battle report. I'm not entirely sure, but
at the rear of the hold
that's this guy. He's got some cool paint work done. Really proud of these guys. Got some more stuff to do. I got to varnish them. Make sure they're good to play on the tabletop. Obviously, I have some like scuffing on the base here that I got to fix. And then, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I had some Cadian vehicles, such as this Lehman Russ here, and this Lehman Russ that I all but rescued. And I'm actually going to do some more dry brushing on these 2. Just in a second here. Because I like this. This came out really well. So I am going to paint the others to a similar degree real quick. And then I'm going to end the stream because it's getting late. I just wanted this to be a test. So we'll go through and do that real quick. Clean off our brush as much as we can. You know, with these dry brushes, it's really hard to just get the color that you just dry brushed with. It's really hard to remove that. So we're probably not going to get that done anytime soon. But it's okay.
What the bolters cannot clear out will be dealt with by sweeping streaks of the wing-mounted las cannons.
Give me 1 second, guys.
And if this is not enough, the dorsal-mounted Thunderhawk cannon can be used to turn entire buildings to rubble, while the alternate use of turbo laser destructors disintegrates even the heaviest of battle tanks. When the all-clear is given, the troops will sally forth from within. With a maximum of 30 Space Marines in power armor, this makes for quite the deployment of firepower. Squads will now sprint forward to secure the LZ and advance upon their objectives. Once the dropship has been emptied, it will be clear to
give me a second, guys. Hold on.
Further close air support or to carry out yet another mission. If the situation calls for it, the more vulnerable transport Thunderhawks will now receive the green light to approach.
All right, so we're gonna get. Where is my Xandri dust? Got a cool little video coming out soon, showcasing this cool painting case that I got. It's got some nice lighting. It's got a lot of cool elements that I value a lot, especially with like video creation. So I'll be doing a little bit of a montage of this thing. So this is the new backdrop you guys are going to be seeing. You guys will see this nice painting board. Sometimes the outer table might change, especially when I move back to college. But yeah, hold on, yo. This is one of my larger brushes, so we'll be using this. And we are going to clean up these vehicles.
And countermeasure arrays all maximize the odds of a successful deployment. In the event that a Thunderhawk does go down, however, its emergency transponder will provide a lock-on position for allies. Yet, while Space Marines will do their best to recover such a valuable asset, this is not always possible. As such, the ship may be stripped for parts and scuttled, or else, if it has been overrun,
I'm currently just doing some thin coats right now. We did some dry brushing and
ultimately
trying to be very careful. This is an older piece, so I really don't want to go back through and repaint anything if that's possible for me. But I don't know if anybody here is painting as well. Hope you guys are doing okay. Hope your day went okay. It's been a long week. Hopefully you guys had a good New Year's.
Either operating on its own,
just trying to make sure this color, the stripe is a little bit stronger. You can kind of tell it's a little thin here. Just trying to make it come out a little bit more. Be a little stronger here. Maybe areas like that. I'm gonna brush a little more. And now I imagine. What's up, man? How you doing? I imagine that a lot of the time these tanks are hand painted just like I'm doing right now. I imagine that maybe these guys got humongous brushes or they didn't have time to do it properly or make it look even. So they hurriedly just threw it together just like I'm doing right now. So I'm okay with being a little sloppy.
Featuring both melter and plasma warheads.
Boom.
Finally,
I'm covering up a lot of the dirt that I had as well, but I'm sure that's going to be something that is fine. You know, we can work with that.
For tackling larger or more heavily armed targets. While not as agile as dedicated fighter vessels such as the Fury Interceptor, the high endurance, armor, and armament of the Thunderhawk allows it to stand.
How you doing though, Nap? How you been, bro? It's been a while.
In dogfighting engagements. For bombing and assault missions, the Thunderhawks likely maintain their same 3-vehicle squadrons. However, their larger
hopefully it's actually popping out pretty well. I like how the dry brushing creates some darker tones. You guys can see there's some dark tone going along these stripes here. But then there's also the brighter dry brushing that I did. It creates a lot of volume, and I really, really like that.
Once on target, they will unleash an arsenal which features.
Ooh, you're working on sound effects? Is that what you mean by SFX?
Thus, we have seen how the.
And hey, I appreciate it, man. That means a lot to me. I'm glad you like the paint work. I think I'm actually like at a point in my hobbying where I am pretty proud of like the painting that I'm doing now, which is pretty cool because it wasn't always that way. Definitely proud enough to produce these videos and show it off to other people. We're doing all this. We're gonna let it dry.
Bringing the lore of 40K to life has been a great joy.
Boom. I think it's so late. A lot of people that subscribe to the channel aren't really seeing this right now. Just late in the night. I just decided I had this camera with me and I plugged it in. I was just like, hey man, let me see if this works. So I'm glad that the FX30 hooks up with my computer. It's actually really neat. All I needed was a USB-C.
For making this episode possible. We couldn't have done it without this team.
All right, so boom.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content and check out these other.
Again, we're just adding some more volume to the color, trying to strengthen it so it's not as faded. I want to make sure that this color should really pop. And then I'm going to come back through with a brighter tan, and I'm going to brighten that up even more. He said, yeah, special effects. Currently, the lightsaber specifically. Okay. You're gonna have a Jedi in your stop motion? That's sick. Dude, that'll be cool. I like your Wookiee Jedi you had. I hope it's him. I hope he's making a return.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I don't think it's actually possible.
Bro, Wes Hammer is on. Oh, I love that guy. He's cool.
Somehow never come into contact with the Ultramarine.
I got some like Warhammer lore videos playing in the background just so that you guys have some atmospheric noise when I'm not talking. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm locking in. I don't know what to talk about. I'm just kind of trying to paint this. So the Wookiee Jedi, let's go, dude. Let's go.
You'd be surprised just how many people don't know the first thing about this.
Dude, I was hoping it was him, bro. It's been a while since I've seen him in your videos. That's sick.
Including their chapters, beliefs, culture, philosophy, and
you're picking out this piece. Trying to get the tank treads. I really don't want to get the tank treads in this. Trying not to. Okay. Oh, I'm getting it a little bit. No, it's okay. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. I'm really proud with this, man. This is cool. He said, so did the Warhammer video game or board game come out first? It was the board game. So it came out years ago as a tabletop war game, which you literally just take armies of guys. Like I have like 30 of these type of guys. And you take armies of these. And then you have like other stuff like this, you know, your little tanks, which they can't actually fit into. Traditionally, I'm guessing they squeeze in there or whatever. But the board game rules allows you to like put like 10 guys in these tanks and stuff like that. And you can build your armies how you want. Like right now I have abhumans. So they're these big mutant creatures. These are called Bulgarins. And I gave them just clubs and shields, but you can give them a bunch of different loadouts and weapons depending on how you want to play. But the game came first, and then the video game came. So, oh, it's not actually the Wookiee? Oh, dude, that sucks. I wish it was the Wookiee, bro. You get my hopes up. Let's see, boom. I'm gonna let the Collector's Cantina know real quick that I'm live streaming Warhammer painting. I don't know if any of them are bored, but it's been a while since I've spoken to a lot of the guys.
I specifically requested this color, so that's my bad. If you want to help support this channel and get something really cool in return, then click on the link in the description of this video to pick up one of these Void Defender tees for yourself. Not only does that link give you 10% off your entire order, but for every Void Defender t-shirt sold using that link,
Void Defender? What the
my channel
what am I watching?
And while you're there, make sure to check out the rest of their catalog as well. Everything
just trying to make sure I get these
super stylish and ridiculously
these colors
so
solid.
Elevate your style today by heading over to intotheam.com.
Because I did this like years ago, man. I think this tank maybe I painted like 5 years ago or something, and I hadn't touched it since. Maybe 4 years ago. And so there's a lot of like color tone. Like even now you can barely see it, but you can see like the brush strokes, things that are not as like established. So I'm trying to make sure I paint and I cover up all the imperfections for the most part, and that the paint looks very solid in like the middle and stuff like that. I don't want it to be too thin. I want it to look like actual camo stripes, and it'll look dusty like this. So I'll put these two next to each other real quick. I don't know if the lighting does it justice, but you can sort of see the dustiness to that. It's more of like a grayish tan tone, and then that's more like cream, or I guess more, it's close to like chocolate or coffee brown sort of color here than this is. So I'm gonna make that like this. That's kind of what we're doing today. But yeah, we've doing this. So what are your goals for the new year? Man, you know, a lot of people have been asking me that. I think so I got the documentary I'm filming in the spring, but I think my goal this year is to film a narrative short film. And then of course, you know, just like everybody, I've got some workout goals. I've hit my weight goal, which I'm really happy with, but I'm trying to build more muscle. So mostly just toning up this year is the goal for me for like health and fitness and workout wise. But those are probably the two things. You know, just enjoy stuff, have fun, you know, film more. I want to get into paintball videography more than I already am. I'm going to be getting a media pass for the tournament. And depends. I don't know if they're going to give me a media pass for free for the documentary alone, because somebody tried to do what I did, and they tried to say that, hey, like, well, they didn't try to do what I did, but they claimed that they were making a student film, and then the guy decided to go sell photos and videos instead of, doing all that. Because what happens is this local field, they make a lot of their money off of like media and memberships for the tournaments, things like that. Because what happens is the people who do these media, like the photographers and the videographers, they make thousands of dollars off single games and single tournaments. So they have to charge money for you to go on field to film, because you're just extorting them if you don't. But I'm hoping that I don't have to pay for a media pass, because I need to be on the field to film my documentary. Sorry, it's like late and I'm a little dehydrated, so I hope that makes sense. But beyond that, I might make money, so I might end up getting the media pass anyways. And that's part of my New Year's resolution, is that I want to get into sports videography and stuff a little bit more, make some money. Yeah, we'll see. What about you? I guess to sum it up, sports videography, narrative film, working out, painting, maybe a stop motion. I've been learning a lot of After Effects, and I did something with 2D animation in After Effects. I thought it turned out really cool, and there's a lot of stuff that would apply to like a project you're doing.
It was they who stood against High Fleet Behemoth, the entire veteran first company.
Boom, look at this. Boom, there we go. Cool. Very cool. This is turning out well.
When Abaddon's forces assaulted the fortress of Hera, and it was they who pushed back
turn
the
on.
fleets of Nurgle and routed Mortarion and the Death Guard's invasion of Ultramar during the Plague War.
I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with this so far. This has been a good recovery.
Infiltration, ambush tactics, subterfuge, siege warfare, or grinding wars of attrition. The Ultramarines, by contrast, are not bound to any one form of combat, and through their decades of study and relentless training, have learned the strengths and weaknesses of each, and are able to switch between them at will. They are capable of assessing and analyzing an enormous amount of battlefield information in a fraction of a second. Their unblinking eyes constantly analyzing their surroundings, appraising every location for tactical strategies, and assessing the combat prowess of every individual. All the while, their augmented minds process
Nice. Yeah, hopefully I'll advance my career as well. I have to get my internship this summer to graduate. Oh, yeah. Nah, it's like same. I still got to do an internship. I got to get on top of that. I haven't really felt a push to do that yet. I hope you figure something out that you like with that, though, because I know internships can be hit or miss as far as like what it really. I don't know. I feel like in certain job environments, you got to kind of be lucky with the type of people you work with, because sometimes it can be really bad and it's a bad representation of the actual career field, and then other times it's just amazing. So I hope you find something that you really enjoy. That bonus resolution. That's funny.
Land raiders and predators leave the vanguard, while rhinos and other transports bury battle line infantry.
It's a good bonus, man.
Each of these ancient vehicles proudly bears not only the symbols and heraldry of the chapter, but the
shooting shots never hurts.
Alongside them are the chapter's
you might get lucky.
Ancient warriors entombed in adamantium life-supporting sarcophagi that continue to serve the emperor even in death. Their weaponry stands poised to unleash death upon the enemies of mankind, and their voice is a chorus of wrathful machine spirits eager for the carnage to come. The Ultramarines fight under their ancient banners, each a relic of honor and a testament to victories earned in blood. They charge to the cacophony of bolters.
How's that been going, though? I know it's like a resolution, but have you had any luck? You doing okay? Or you just locked in with like? You haven't had any luck with like finding any internship opportunities yet? Again, I'm dehydrated. I probably need to step out and get some water for a second. Hold on. I'm like, my brain is like trying to process. The neurons are trying to fire, but they're not. All right, let's see. Just let this dry. Give me 1 second. Let me get some water. I'll read your response when I get back.
Every possible battlefield role and weapon equipment combination. As a fighting force, they are a perfect balance of offense and defense, strengthened by tradition but not limited by hubris. By employing stratagems tried and tested across 1,000 battles, they outmaneuver and outwit their enemies at every turn, while also minimizing civilian casualties and collateral damage. When the fighting is done and the enemy lays slain, they leave behind nothing but ash and the righteous judgment, the Imperium. They are the finest warriors mankind has ever produced. The chapter that all Space Marines are measured against, both saviors and conquerors, and the ideals of the Emperor given form. They are his Ultramarines. They know no fear, and with courage and honor, they march for McCrag.
We are the Ultramarines, the sons of Gilliman. Whilst we draw breath, we stand. Whilst we stand, we fight. Whilst we fight, we prevail. Nothing shall stay our wrath.
If we're gonna do this, we need to set some rules.
Your behavior is unacceptable.
Is it?
My family is everything to me. Don't you ever show up in my ass again.
You're my baby girl.
3, 2, 1, gotta run to the big fight, it's a big life. Zoom, zoom, live fast, big move. Big plans and a bigger attitude. Like
Bro said, I think you're having too much paint fumes. That's wild. You know, it's a funny story. I actually think I may have done that yesterday because I had like this metallic paint that I was using and I was shaking it up. I'm not going to do that motion on live. That's kind of wrong. But I was like shaking up the pot, like the paint pot. And then I just realized that like all the paint was like dried up and chipped, because what happens with these sometimes is the paint will dry around the edges there. And so I was using like a knife or whatever, and I was like cutting it out, and I think one of the pieces, because I had my cup over there, I think it flicked out, it flew into my cup because I was drinking and I like felt a chunk of something. I'm like, yo, what is this? And dude, I like started feeling like, feeling like I'm high without being high. Like it was like such a weird feeling. But yeah, I was like, I started to paint, and it's like I'm like autopiloting. I'm like a zombie. I'm like witnessing myself move my brush, but I don't feel like I'm in control of it. It's such a weird feeling. So luckily, I don't feel that way anymore. But yeah, it was very scary. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Pardon my language. But yeah, I don't have a interselected. Yeah, I need to get on that. Should not.
Now, though this is the most iconic,
I think I'm faded. Dude, maybe you could do some remote stuff. I know some studios offer remote opportunities, but obviously, for actual reasons, many studios prefer in person. But you never know. I mean, you could also just apply and then see who accepts you, and then try to communicate.
You see, each of them has been blessed with a series of 19
Was this meant to be a stripe?
that elevate a man into
Oh,
a
it was.
demigod. These include things like a second heart, a third lung, a gland that lets them spit acid, organs that rapidly accelerate.
It's talking about like, you hear this? I don't know if you hear the background, but it's talking about like Space Marines, like how they can spit acid. It's basically like a 9-year-old created a universe and was like the most beast mode characters ever. That's what a Space Marine basically is.
I actually made a video going in depth on all of these implants a little while ago, so
You said
in the description down below if you want to know more. All Space Marines are bigger, faster.
Oh, the detail in the tracks? Yeah, the
and
you like the mud and stuff? Thank you.
can crush a man's
Thank you,
skull
bro. I
with a
appreciate
single
it.
hand. Their gene-enhanced minds can process
Yeah, I think I just
information hundreds of times
used some like
faster
brown
than
paint
most
and then
accomplished of mortal
brushed it over. I actually should go get this character. I might run up and go find him real quick, but I have a clone trooper that I made custom that was going to be featured. Again, man, I'm telling you, I have so many plans, but stop motion takes so long to produce, bro. And I have so many other interests that I keep on track of, keep on top of and stuff like that too. But I should show you. I have a cool custom guy. He's like a green clone trooper, and I used Warhammer paint for that.
It's then that one shows up in Terminator armor.
Oh, what's up, Bakar? That was Bakar. I thought that was Nap who said that. What's up, man? I thought that was Nap who was giving me that compliment. Appreciate it, bro. How you been?
History, beliefs, specialties, and in some cases, unique powers. The Ultramarines are considered by many to be the best of the best, the purest expression of what being a
show the custom clone. Okay.
They are unquestionably loyal.
All right. I gotta go find them. Actually, you know, God, dude, I've been learning so much through this hobby right here that could really be used with the clone trooper stuff. Like, if you've ever heard of varnishing, I don't know if you've heard of varnishing. It's like matte varnish, gloss varnish. So I have this matte varnish, and it basically allows me to use these as game pieces. So, like, I could drop this, and it's like the paint's not going to chip. I could scratch. The paint didn't chip. It protects it. It's a protective layer. And they use varnishes with, like, car parts, different things like that all the time. And it's basically a clear protective layer that you paint onto an object. And so I don't know if you know anything about that, Nat, but I was super excited when I learned about that for these models, because I'm probably going to put that on that custom clone. Yeah, let me go get them. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second.
Where a clash of cultures or heated disagreement between battle brothers could endanger a mission of critical importance. Whether it be matters of battle or state, these guys have a very logical and practical approach to problem solving. They consider every variable, great and small, whether they be theoretical or practical, to always make the best decision. Their Primarch was once quoted as saying that there was no such thing as a minor detail. Information was victory. One couldn't and shouldn't dismiss any data as inconsequential until one was in a position to elevate its significance, and that only comes with hindsight. So to them, all detail is important until circumstances render it redundant. Now, before we get into the weeds of it, I also want to address a label that the Ultramarines have earned from the community that I think is frankly ridiculous. You see, the Sons of Guilliman are frequently characterized by the 40k community as being rigidly formal, with a stick up their ass at all times. And I'll admit that can definitely, sometimes, pretty often be true. But other people say that they don't have a sense of humor, which is blatantly incorrect. I'm here to tell you that the Ultramarines, in fact, have a great sense of humor. It's just that their jokes are, how should I put this? Like the Space Marine equivalent of super dry, awkward dad jokes. And most of the time, they don't actually laugh at them. They just say, "That was very humorous, honored brother. Please tell another." For example, the Ultramarines have their two war cries, Courage and Honor, and We March from a Crag. Well, there's a great scene in the novel Pharaohs where the Ultramarines are about to enter a situation where they have to fight in zero gravity. And right as they're about to dive in, Brother Caius turns to Brother Sergeant Lethicus and, with a straight face, says the famous Ultramarines war cry with a twist: "We float from a crag." Sergeant Lethicus may not have found it funny, but I certainly did. There's also the scene in the Knights of Macragge where Cato Sicarius is talking to Sergeant Redius, who had recently lost an eye in a previous battle. When the conversation is done, Cato thanks him for providing him counsel, brotherhood, and an indulging ear. And the sergeant's response is, "Of course, brother, just don't ask me for an eye. I've got few to spare." This is the last one, I swear, but my personal favorite scene is in the short story The Armor of Fate, where Gilliman's trying to get used to not being able to take off the titular suit of armor. His armored hands are bigger and less dexterous than he's used to, and when he goes to pick up a small plastic object, he ends up knocking all of the books and papers onto the floor. He just glares at the tiny thing on the ground and turns to Cato Sicarius, pointing at it saying, "Tiny plastic flimsies, my greatest enemy."
The holidays can be hard. Instead of over drinking and messaging your ex, send 988 that text. We can help you find better ways to deal with and enjoy the holidays. See our tips for dealing with holiday moments that drive you to drink at 988holidayhelp.org.
Anyways, enough of that. Let's get back on topic. The methods by which the Ultramarines chapter is organized follow the edicts of the Codex Astartes closer than any other chapter. Now, if you're unfamiliar with it, the Codex Astartes is a documented penned by Rabute Gilliman 10,000 years ago at the conclusion of the Horus Heresy, where in the Space Marine legions, which at the time could have tens or even in some cases hundreds of thousands of Space Marines within them, were broken up into hundreds of chapters of no more than 1,000.
All right, Chad, give me a second. Hold
This
on.
was an attempt to minimize the consolidation of power, as they had just bought a pretty
All right, so this is the custom clone. Sadly, he's a little ruined. I had him in a bag, and I guess his a lot of his paint chipped off. But he's simple. I did a bunch of like different paints to like muck him up and wash. It wasn't like a full-on wash, but I did a bunch of scuffs and weathering, especially at the feet. And then I even did some like little black marks on his helmet there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Is that better? That should be better, hopefully.
Although all Space Marine chapters are
Hold on, let me see if I can-
follow the codex, they serve to be
That's way too close. Hold on.
Some chapters are referred to as non-codex compliant, meaning that they have their own systems in place.
Yeah, he's pretty neat. I like that green color a lot. It's definitely my favorite. And I like doing all the weathering. I tried to keep it pretty realistic to the movies. Because, you imagine white armor gets messed up a lot when they're in combat, shrapnel, things like that, dirt kicking up.
So unless the chapter is doing something that borders on the heretical, they mostly
Even the chipping from the bag, yeah. No, it's pretty neat. I think it's a little bit too much, but yeah, I don't know. You can kind of see like the paint layers chipping off a lot, like even back here and stuff.
The vast majority of Space Marine chapters are codex.
But yeah, I mean that's him. He's just took a white clone trooper and did that.
However, since the Ultramarines embody its teachings in its purest form and have only ever deviated from it once out of necessity by creating the tyrannic war veterans, they are the chapter that all others are measured against. By memorizing the codex, an Ultramarine cements his place.
Do I plan to do more customs or like more of this style?
Prepares himself for anything the grimdark future could possibly throw at him. In addition to everything else, a large portion of the text is dedicated to how a chapter should be organized and its hierarchical systems. And to make things as simple as possible, you can think of it like this. A Space Marine chapter consists of...
Because if you're asking about me doing more customs in general, I think that's something that right now I don't think I would be doing. I don't really have money in the hobby like that right now, at least not like Star Wars action figure collecting. So I don't really have many white clone troopers or just clone troopers that I would want to customize.
The warriors of the battle companies are Space Marines that have fully completed.
Yeah, I'd more on that style. Maybe I'd be interested in that. It depends. I need to put it in front of a green screen too. I think because of the nature of the green, it's such a dark and almost like turquoise green. I think it would it's more green than blue on the turquoise spectrum, but it's still a sort of turquoisey color. It's like a sea foam. So I can see it working on green screen, but I still have to test that before I make more. I might though. But like as far as like making random customs and different themes and stuff, I don't think I would be doing that. If I make any customs in the future ever, it'd probably be like a similar style like that. I want to expand the design a little bit. I think that just having the shoulders painted is a little basic, but I don't mind it. I also don't mind it so much. I just don't know what I would do else, like what else I would do with it. I took some inspo from the Gray 41st with just painting the pads.
They are tasked with maintaining and repairing the advanced weaponry, vehicles, and other technological systems utilized by the Ultramarines. Within the Reclusium, you can find the chapter's chaplains, who minister to their battle brothers' spiritual needs. Now, this tends to confuse new people, as with the exception of a small handful of chapters like the Black Templars, the vast majority of Space
some markings on the helmet.
Included.
Yeah, I wonder what that would look like though. Like I'm trying to work it out in my head, like how that would look. I've been thinking about that for a long time, but I haven't been too confident in any one single marking style. So it's kind of why I haven't done that yet. But that's a really good idea. And I would like to do that at some point. I just don't know how that would look.
These are
I have absolutely no clue.
by the chaplains, and it is only they who can sanction their use.
Let's see here. I think this is pretty
The
good.
location in which all of the chapters of
I kind of like repaint a little bit of this guy. He's like, he's just like, he's a little mediocre, but it's all right. I'm cool with him for now.
It is where all of the harvested flagenoid glands
I think this is
taken from
pretty
slain
good.
Space Marines are kept safe until such a time comes
Just trying to make
that
sure
they
all
will
the
be given
paint
to a new
is
aspirant
solid.
in order to create a new Space Marine. To say that this gene seed is seen with great reverence by the chapter is
There
a
we go.
massive understatement. On one hand, collecting it from the battlefield is kind of the
Honestly, I'm a big fan of the sniper
collecting a bonus
design,
of
so I really
dog
like.
tags. But on the other hand,
Wait,
it
oh,
is
simpler.
literally
I'm reading that
creation of
wrong.
their replacement. In many
Yeah,
Space
thanks, man.
Marines,
No, I like him. I think he's really cool.
their fallen
It's like, it's probably the reason I haven't expanded too much is because I like the simplicity. I do think there could be more, but I don't know what that is yet. Yeah, I don't know how that would look. I just like it. I think he's cool so far. He's neat. I love the antenna mold. I want to get more. It's so dang expensive. All that stuff's so expensive. It's like $20 a figure.
It is here that the chapter's ancient history is
30
always
sometimes.
cataloged and researched, where countless scribes will scour over endless reams of millennia-old parchment preserved by a stasis field, or even the tiniest scrap of information.
I'm gonna touch up the driver real quick.
Finally, we have chapter.
What you guys been up to though? Did you guys see that that trend with the AI? Like, I've seen some of the photo artists or like photographers. I've seen them do stuff where they turn their photography into video from AI. I know I saw Nap put a comment on one of those videos. That was crazy. That blew my mind.
Reclusiarch Orton Cassius, and Master of the Forge Phineas Maxim. The only individual that ranks higher than these four men and the chapter master is the Primarch himself, an honor that is currently unique to the Ultramarines, as theirs is the only one to have returned to the Imperium. Now, as of the time of this recording, this is slowly beginning to change.
Dude, it's crazy. It's genuinely crazy. Like, I would love to see somebody make a full story like that.
However, since Gilliman has become the Imperial Regent and is currently in command of the entire Imperium, leadership of the Ultramarines is still firmly in the hands of its chapter master, Marnius Calgar. It's important to remember that a Space Marine chapter is more than just a bunch of Space Marines. They also have a legion of mortal servants that see to the day-to-day administration and coordination.
Just trying to fix up this this driver real quick. Make sure this tanker is up to par with my current paint style and quality. Again, this hasn't been touched for the longest
They
time.
may not be their brothers, but they are nonetheless still an important part of the chapter.
I'm curious about
Showed them respect and routinely
integrating that with stop motion. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. I tried to do one, but all it did was move the camera angle. It didn't move the actual character. It was really weird. It's really weird to work with. It just wouldn't work. Like, I tried to tell it to make my character's head move and eyes blink. I would want it for eye blinking. I would want it to make like characters, like the action figures, feel more human. That's what I like about it. Like when I saw I think the scene that really gets me is the one where Wolf is petting the wolves, and that was really neat. Like seeing that figurine animate in such a real way, and then like the wolf alien creatures come up, like that was really cool.
It's kind of an awesome place to live, at least by 40K standards. Their worlds are nowhere near as bleak and miserable and dystopian as many of the others found throughout the Imperium. The people here have a pretty close relationship with
story earlier.
As they are
Fire. I can't remember who. Oh, dude, that sucks. If you find it, bro, like definitely let me know. I'd love to watch it.
That only shows up to take recruits. They commonly interact with the people they rule over. To the noble families of Ultramar, producing a son that will one day be inducted into the ranks of the Ultramarines is an honor without equal. To further their chances of this happening, they have created these prestigious.
You guys playing any games recently?
Throughout all of Ultramar that take these boys in and attempt to prepare them for the rigors of joining the chapter. But once they join an academy and are actively working towards becoming a Space Marine, these recruits are from this point forward known as aspirants. a title that simply means that they're trying to be a space marine but have yet to pass their trials. Whereas other chapters may sometimes struggle to gain an adequate amount of new aspirants, these academies ensure
the AI is mind blowing though. That stuff is crazy, man.
Their aspirants are not only trained killers, but are also firmly
I saw one where it was like the Inquisitor walking with the Purge Troopers. That was cool. You're going crazy on Helldivers? Yeah, what about that new update? I haven't played it yet. I heard it was good. The new update looks fire.
No matter what chapter we're talking about, the average rate of aspirant attrition is around 90%. We're not given exact figures when it comes to the Ultramarines, but it's likely that they do fare at least marginally better, considering that they've been trained their entire life for this, rather than just having been plucked out of some backwater Death World jungle. Even still, most will not survive, and out of those that do, many will get close to succeeding but fall short at the last hurdle. Now, even though these people that survived the trial but failed to pass them will not go on to become Space Marine neophytes, they are in no way, shape, or form seen as failures. To have made it all the way through the academy and survive, it demonstrates remarkable character, honor, and determination. They will go on to serve the chapter instead as valued chapter serfs. Or
Helldivers is worth the $40. Yeah, I have it. I just haven't played the new DLC. I got it when it first came out. I got that like Liberty Edition or whatever, where it gives you that cool like set of armor. I just thought that was super neat, and I wanted that. So,
the next step is to serve as a
I
scout
think this
with the
guy's
Ultramarines
pretty cool.
company. But
He's looking good. He's looking good.
What exactly are these trials that an Ultramarine aspirant will have to face?
So you gotta dip
Totally
for a
honest with
bit,
you,
but
we're not giving
hey, it's good chatting with you, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. You made this a lot less boring. I feel like if I was doing this on my own without you two here, it would have been so much like more boring. I did not expect anybody to join, so I appreciate it.
And yet the trials of the Ultramarines, for some reason, which
If you want, we'll play some Helldivers at some point.
Stories featuring them than all of these chapters combined has yet to really be fleshed out. I'll fully admit to you, I was kind of shocked to see this when I started researching this video and had to do a lot more digging than anticipated. However, I did manage to come across at least one source that gives us some much-needed specifics, though it's kind of a strange and obscure one. Page 11 of the Rites of Battle supplement for the Death Watch RPG. In this book, we're told that all of the different Space Marine trials, although unique in their own ways, can roughly be boiled down into two major categories.
Hell yeah, bro. All right, I'll send you my information. So then you can like hit up my Discord, or you can hit my Insta. I'm kind of like hit or miss with being on my SWD account, so I'll definitely send you some stuff where you can reach me easier.
A Space Marine chapter will identify a particularly brutal war and observe it from afar, is sometimes going as far as stepping in covertly and influencing events behind the scenes.
So we got the,
to make sure the
I'm going to show you guys the tanker.
Surely, once it's all over, though, those who survive.
Let's zoom in so you guys can see it a little better.
Particularly astonishing feats of bravery, heroism, or an unflinching resolve.
Dude, I remember the days of the Crusader Studio streams. Those days were insane. So this is the tanker. Hopefully you guys are seeing that pretty good. I was just working on. There you go. There he is. Got some cool stuff. You know, it's actually funny. Maybe I can. I don't know if I can reach it right now. So my brother just painted a tank as well. He painted a tank as well, and I think it's the same type of model that my tank is. There we go. See, my brother, he's painting a similar faction, but in a gray style. He wants to do mostly tanks. Mostly and only tanks, from what I gather. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Also, the microphone, guys. This is the onboard camera mic, so please bear with it. I have a mic that plugs into this camera, but it wasn't registering for the stream, so we're kind of using the onboard, which sucks. So hopefully the quality is bearable for you guys. But yeah, so my brother, he's putting this together, and he's going to be making a Cadian Guard regiment with just tanks. I mean, you have to have some battle line, so he might choose some stuff. What's up, J-Man? So he'll be doing that, but I think it's kind of ironic that the tankers are relatively the same model, except for his has like these cool shoulder pads. It's pretty sick. Sick stuff, man. I like it. It's cool. I'm excited for him to paint his stuff. He's painting it in a similar paint scheme as one of my other armies, and they can run together with the rules because they're all like human. So very excited, very excited. I actually see he has. Hold on a second. He painted like metal. It's actually it's actually smart. I might steal that idea. Interesting. You also kit bash this. If you guys are longtime Warhammer fans, you'll notice this is not an official piece from the kit. My brother took some orc pieces and assembled this monstrosity of a radio antenna. But it looks amazing. He did a good job. Yeah, thank you. I'll be doing a decal video at some point on this channel as well, just from what I've learned with decaling. These are by no means perfect decal applications. I mean, you can even see it like, I feel like creases. I don't know if you guys can tell on the camera, but for me it looks like it creases. So I'm trying to discover a really good way not to let that happen. When I figure that out, I'll be doing a video. Yeah, this is the guy. This guy's sick. I like him a lot. He's cool. I'm probably gonna repaint. I don't know how I feel about the sparkles. It's kind of like kind of weird to me, even to the naked eye. Like, this is really bright. So I might fix that later, but not right now. These include Space Marine infiltrators, suppressors, and eliminators to name a few. I love having this camera, dude. I got this from my campus camera cage, so I've been using it this winter as much as I can. So I have it for the entire winter. I have my own gear for it. I have like my own camera cage, some other stuff for it, like battery. The battery pack in it is mine. I have my own SD card. It's cool, man. I've been falling in love with the Sony FX30. Like, this thing is pretty far from me. Like, it's not like right up as close to the model as it looks for you guys right now. Like, I'm zoomed in and the quality is really good. Very happy with this camera. Hopefully I'll get one after I graduate. But yeah, I'll be filming this right here. I'm gonna paint that guy up for the YouTube tutorial. It's gonna be my next upload. I don't know if you saw this earlier or not, but these are the abhumans. Is the enemy fielding a bunch of monstrous creatures or war engines that threaten to wreak havoc on? And they take scaling seriously in the hobby. Like, like they're pretty large compared to these guys. So it's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. These guys are a lot of fun to paint. I'll be doing those. I'm gonna film the rest of that tutorial tomorrow before I leave on my ski trip. Full-fledged battle brother. You've proven yourself worthy of the Primarch's legacy and the great physical and mental gifts that you've been given. It doesn't matter if they're in the 5th company, the 2nd, or the veterans. It doesn't matter if they fought for dozens of years or multiple centuries. No Ultramarine will ever forget the time they spent as a scout and the fierce pride they felt when admitted into the ranks of the 9th. Thus, they look upon these screaming warriors with a strong sense of fraternal admiration. All these paints have like really funny names too. It is here that they learn to perfect their marksmanship and learn the myriad ways in which heavy firepower can be correctly utilized in a wide range of strategic situations. Space Marines are limited in number,
so their fire support warriors cannot be unthinking meatheads that know only how to point their heavy weaponry at the bad guys. They've got to be ruthlessly disciplined. The time they spend at the night will see them rapidly and repeatedly rotating through different squad roles. In one deployment, they may be deployed as an eliminator who picks off key targets with a sniper rifle. In the next, they'll don the power pack of a Hellblaster who bathes the foe in incinerating plasma. After a Space Marine has proven themselves a master of ranged warfare in all its forms, they will graduate to the 8th Company, where they're going to ditch their big guns and instead learn to unleash their full ferocity in glorious melee combat. An Ultramarine that ever wants to make it in one of the battle companies needs to be tactically flexible. It's not enough for them to simply know how to fire a gun. They also need to be trained in close support and assault disciplines. It is here within the 8th that they will learn how to properly use war gear such as jump packs, various Space Marine bikes, and aggressor armor, whilst training intensively with a wide range of close combat armaments such as chain and power swords, melta bombs, heavy bolt pistols, and countless other close-range tools of war. It's like, I know you just
turn this back for you guys. There we go.
A heavy bolter and a sniper rifle, but throw them guns right out the window, big boy. Here's a jump
Just
pad and a big ass knife. Good luck.
Dust all this
Just
with
like how
the
you were forced to constantly
Screaming
switch
Skull here,
equipment
just bringing out the tan a little bit more, making it a little brighter.
That should come as no surprise. Life is
You guys can
far
sort
more
of see
dangerous
that,
for a Space Marine
hopefully.
serving in a close combat role.
I like it. I mean, it's an acquired taste, but I like it. Some people might argue it makes it look a little too white.
Many of battle's most dangerous
At least on camera it does.
whether they take the form of spearhead assaults or desperate counteroffensives. Casualties within the
Yeah, if you guys don't have one of these for wargaming painting, get yourself a dry brush. It is amazing.
Grievous injury, such as the loss of a limb or an eye, which is then replaced with an automatic replacement. No matter what their personality was like before joining the 8th, whether they were kind of a hard ass, difficult to get along with, or a bit of a loner, all Assault Marines end up developing incredibly strong bonds of brotherhood with each other. Now, additionally, they begin to also take on a certain laissez-faire attitude when it comes to dangerous situations. As this mentality tempers, it will eventually form the foundation of an Ultramarine's masterful strategic versatility. The 8th Company serves much the same role in most Codex-compliant chapters, but with the Ultramarines Honor Blade specifically, they have this really interesting practice that many outside of the chapter would consider blasphemous. You see, they're in a very unique position here. They've already gone through 2 full companies and thus have gained an enormous amount of experience and skill. But they're also not so far removed from their days as an acolyte that they haven't completely lost the ability to question orders or the tenets of their chapter. Because of this, they are encouraged by their superiors to openly challenge and question the Codex Astartes without fear of castigation. They're not allowed to just run wild or anything like that, don't get it twisted. But under the watchful gaze of their sergeants, these men are encouraged to question each strategic doctrine as they learn it, in order to pose suggestions on how they might catch their enemies off guard by pushing the text to its limits with radical tactical maneuvers. Or even
There we go, guys. That is pretty much the resuscitation of this vehicle. I was not too happy with it before. I painted it years ago. And now I think it's something that I'm actually pretty happy with. So I just got to dry brush this. And it all comes from dry brushing, guys. That's really all I did today was just dry brushing, reapplied some paint that I already had on the tank. It wasn't awfully hard to do. And I didn't have to reprime or, do anything major to this tank. It was just something to make it pop a little more. And that's all it needed. It's really all it needed. We're just doing some final dry brushing.
And fun little fact about that guy, he had been censured for doing something that before the heresy broke out was considered the equivalent of blasphemy. He was producing
going for a dusty look
on how to fight against enemy Space Marines. Now, at the time, it was believed impossible for the legions to turn against each other.
And there you go. You guys can see there's a lot of volume and gradient to these colors. And it's something that dry brushing and airbrushing does really well. But if you don't want to invest in an airbrush, like I personally don't have any want to do that, dry brushing is the way to go. And you're able to make a lot of really good color volumes. And I know I've showed this a lot on the stream. I don't know who's stuck around this long, but this is a really good example, at least I think. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but I've really tried to dry brush the top parts of the armor here on this Cadian to create volume. So I'm trying to like hold him without letting my fingers be in the way. You guys aren't even seeing him. There you go. So yeah, he has a little bit more color volume. I think there's a better Cadian example that I have. It's this guy. Might be this guy. I don't know. You guys can kind of see the top of his rifle in some other areas. It's the brighter green.
After serving in the 8th and demonstrating
Trying to make sure
competency in all of its teachings, the fledgling
So
Ultramarine will be
it's cool. It's a lot of fun. Dry brushing's amazing.
the defenders of civilian
Probably one of the most useful tools I picked up recently. It's super cool, super awesome. I think the majority of my brother's tank here that I showed off earlier, majority of that is dry brush. So he sprayed it gray and then dry brushed it with the Fang, gave it like a bluish gray look. And then as you guys just saw tonight, this Lehman Russ or this Chimera was recovered. We basically recovered and rescued this vehicle from being we just made it better. We leveled it up. But that's really it for tonight. That's all I had planned. I think I will be doing something similar with this vehicle on my own time. It's getting late. I want to go to bed and get some sleep. So I will be doing that. But I had a good time streaming with you guys. I know some people who hopped in and said, hey, and I appreciate that. It's good seeing you guys. Hope you guys all have a good night. Hope you enjoyed the live stream. I'm probably going to cut some of this up and put it in a video for the channel. But until then, you guys look out. I got some more tutorials coming out. Like I said, I'm painting some bullgrins for a tutorial. I'm going to finish that tomorrow, edit it this weekend. And yeah, I got some other stuff. So got some things in the works. Got some stuff planned for the channel. It's been a while. Took a break this holiday, but we'll be back. We'll be doing a lot of stuff. So hope you guys have a good night. And thank you for stopping. Thank you for hopping in. Peace out, y'all.
By demonstrating competence within the 7th, they in turn earn the respect of their senior brothers in the battle companies that they will one day be a part of. As a fun little bonus,